The message came 3 weeks before the wedding. Not a phone call. Not even a conversation. Don't miss out on the journey. Subscribe and let's grow, laugh, and learn together. A text. We think it's best if you don't attend. I read it twice, waiting for context. It might create tension, my sister added. Tension. That word people use when they don't want to say blame. I called her immediately. What tension? I asked. She hesitated. You and Mom haven't been getting along. I just want the day to be peaceful. I haven't argued with Mom in months. That's not the point. Of course it wasn't. The point was control. Weddings turn into curated performances, and I, apparently, was an unpredictable variable. So I'm uninvited? I clarified. It's not like that. It sounds exactly like that. Silence. Then, softer, I just don't want drama. There it was. The label. Drama. The thing assigned to whoever refuses to quietly absorb disrespect. I didn't fight. I didn't beg. I didn't promise to behave. Instead, I said, okay. She sounded almost surprised. Okay. Yeah, it's your wedding. We hung up politely, too politely. When I told my fiancé, he stared at me like he'd misheard. She banned you from your own sister's wedding? Apparently I'm a risk factor. He shook his head. So what do we do that weekend? I thought about it for all of 10 seconds. We go somewhere better. And that's how, instead of dress fittings and seating charts, we found ourselves booking flights to the Caribbean. Turquoise water, white sand, no forced smiles. If I was going to be excluded, I wasn't going to sit home feeling small. The morning of the wedding, I woke up in a beachfront suite, sunlight spilling across the room, my phone buzzing nonstop, family group chat exploding with photos, bridesmaids in matching robes, my sister glowing in lace. I muted the notifications. We spent the day on a catamaran, salt air, laughter, champagne. At some point, I realized something unexpected. I wasn't sad. I wasn't angry. I was relieved. Relieved not to perform harmony. Relieved not to monitor my tone or expressions. Relieved not to shrink myself for the sake of peace. Around sunset, as the sky turned gold over the water, my phone rang. My cousin. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won. Are you sitting down? She asked. I looked at the ocean, stretching endlessly in front of me. Technically, yes. She inhaled sharply. You're not going to believe what just happened. I leaned back in the deck chair, sunglasses still on. Try me. There was chaos in the background of her call. Raised voices. Music cutting off abruptly. The ceremony, she said breathlessly, it fell apart. And for the first time all day, my stomach dropped, because suddenly, this wasn't just a wedding I'd missed. It was something unraveling, and I wasn't there. Whether that was good or bad, I was about to find out. What do you mean it fell apart? I asked, sitting up straighter. On the other end of the phone, I could hear chairs scraping, muffled voices, someone crying. The groom walked out, my cousin said. For a second, I thought she was exaggerating. Walked out as in stepped outside. No, walked out as in left. During the vows. The ocean in front of me suddenly felt very far away. What happened? They were halfway through. The officiant asked if anyone had objections. The standard line. And his best man actually stood up. My stomach tightened. You're kidding. I wish I was. He said he couldn't stay quiet anymore. My fiancé turned toward me, reading my expression. What? He mouthed. I held up a finger, still listening. The best man said the groom had been seeing someone else. My cousin continued. That he'd been trying to end it, but never did. That getting married was a mistake. The wind shifted across the deck. And my sister? I asked quietly. She thought it was a joke at first. Then the groom didn't deny it. My chest felt heavy. He just stood there. My cousin said, silent, everyone staring at him. Then he said he needed a minute and walked out, and he never came back. The music had stopped. Guests were whispering. My aunt was apparently arguing with the wedding planner. My mom was crying in the bridal suite. It's chaos, she added. I exhaled slowly. The irony wasn't subtle. I had been labeled the potential source of drama, and yet the only thing dramatic enough to shatter the ceremony had nothing to do with me. Are they canceling the reception? I asked. It's unclear. Some people are already leaving. I thanked her and ended the call. For a moment, I just stared at the horizon. The sun was still warm. The water still impossibly blue. But my thoughts were miles away. My fiancé sat beside me. Tell me. I explained everything in pieces. The objection, the accusation, the walkout. He leaned back, stunned. And they were worried about you causing tension. A small, humorless laugh escaped me. I know. But beneath the irony was something more complicated. I wasn't celebrating. I wasn't satisfied. I was thinking about my sister standing in front of everyone, blindsided, humiliated, publicly betrayed. No one deserves that. Not even someone who uninvited you. My phone buzzed again. This time my mom. I hesitated before answering. Her voice was shaky. Did you hear? Yes. A pause. I don't know what to do, she said. It was the first time in weeks she sounded unsure instead of defensive. Is she okay? I asked. She's locked herself in the bridal suite. She won't talk to anyone. The background noise was frantic. Guests asking questions. Staff trying to salvage something. I told her we could still have the reception. My mom continued, almost desperately. Turn it into a celebration of her. But she won't come out. There was something painfully human about that image. The lace dress, the untouched cake, the empty altar. I can't believe this happened, my mom whispered. Neither could I, but maybe I should have. Because when appearances matter more than honesty, cracks don't disappear. They widen quietly until they split everything open. Do you need me to talk to her? I asked before I could overthink it. My mom paused. She might listen to you. The sentence hung between us. The same family that feared my presence might cause disruption now wanted my voice to help stabilize the aftermath. I looked out at the sea again. A vacation born out of exclusion. A wedding imploding without me. And suddenly, the situation felt less ironic and more revealing. Drama wasn't the problem. Avoidance was. If someone had asked harder questions earlier about doubts, about red flags, about whispers, maybe this wouldn't have exploded in front of 200 guests. But no one wanted discomfort until discomfort arrived uninvited. I'll call her, I said finally. My mom exhaled in relief. Thank you. After we hung up, my fiancé studied me. You don't owe them anything, he said gently. I know. And I meant it. This wasn't about obligation. It was about choice. They excluded me to keep the day smooth. Life made it chaotic anyway. And now, I had to decide what kind of sister I wanted to be. Not the one they feared, not the one they dismissed, but the one I could respect. The Caribbean breeze brushed against my face. Somewhere back home, a ballroom full of flowers and expectations was unraveling. And the strange part, for the first time in this entire story, no one could blame me. I called her. She answered on the third ring, voice hollow. I'm so sorry, I said, and meant it. Not for missing the wedding. Not for the vacation. For the betrayal. There was a long pause before she whispered, You were right about him. I didn't say I told you so. I said, You deserved honesty. Weeks later, she admitted something else. I thought excluding you would make everything smoother. It didn't. In the end, I wasn't the disruption. I was the one who still showed up, even from miles away.